Yeah, uh, last week I didn't go live because I was down. I was down, man. I had got the weather was crazy here. We finally live on Instagram today. We live everywhere. So I love that. What I did with my get all my stuff together. Gotta get back in the swing, back in the flow, man. What's up, good people? Get all this together. Now today, I've been had this in the chamber, and I felt like this was a perfect way to combine a few things. First and foremost, it's Mindset Monday. I want to talk about the difference between scarcity and an abundance mindset. Do you really have one? And how the right person could be the spot for you to start driving into abundance, right? I want to just first and foremost, I want to shout out to my wife, and I think this was the perfect time to combine the two because she is the primary person in my life that helped me go from scarcity to abundance in the mindset. And I think it was the perfect time because we just had Valentine's Day, you know. So shout out to my baby, man. I can't give her enough love. Now, when it comes to abundance versus scarcity, it's not the same as optimism and pessimism. You could be a pretty optimistic person, a good hearted, good natured person, but still have a scarcity mindset. Okay. Like an abundance person, an abundance mindset uh has a higher belief. They believe in the good. They believe in plentiful. They believe they're going to get blessed, right? They believe that good people are around. They will come around. They believe that their circumstances will lighten, and they believe their finances are going to be fruitful even if they aren't at the moment. They believe. I think an abundance mindset has a high belief in positive. A scarcity mindset focuses on lack of and limitations, and it's not really from a negative perspective because, like I said, I had a scarcity mindset. I never was pessimistic, but I had a scarcity mindset. So it was just like focusing on the lack of, right? If you're impoverished, then you focus on poverty, right? If you're in a certain predicament, certain circumstance, then that becomes your focus, and before you know it, that becomes your mindset because the mind is the victim to the monster of repetition. Still got that morning voice, you know what I mean? Still getting back in the flow of things. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up, Big Toe? Everybody know we over on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. So those the differences between abundance and scarcity mindset. So ask yourself, do you have an abundance or a scarcity mindset? Do you initially, even if you do good, you initially believe bad is going to happen? Even if you give love, do you believe that you won't receive love? People ain't gonna love you the way that you love them, but it's okay. I accepted it. I accepted it. I'm just gonna be the one that gives love. We're missing love in the world. I was that person. kind of still is when it comes to that topic. Uh, like, do you truly believe in limitation and lack? Right? I brought up the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People has a list of abundance to scarcity. Let me go over that list, okay? See which category you fit in. Abundance operates from a place of gratitude. Yeah, I remember how many times I say, be grateful at all times in all things. You can be grateful because it always can be worse. Somebody else always has it worse. Abundance operates from a place of gratitude, rooted in positive thought, has the idea that there is more than enough resources to go around, view the world to have endless opportunities, is open minded, focuses on what you have and what we can control, views failures as learning opportunities. Hello? Ask themselves, how can I help others? Those are the lists under the abundance category. Scarcity operates from a place of fear. Now, fear is tricky because a lot of people don't see the fear that they project or that they're operating out of fear. So I'm gonna have to talk about that. A lot of people operate from fear, from negative. Okay, faith and fear cannot coexist. You're either operating in faith or you're operating in fear, right? You can have both, and you can switch from each one very quickly, but you can't operate from faith and fear at the same time. You're either in faith or you're in fear. A lot of people are living out of fear. You can still progress out of fear. Fear is a great motivator. You hear people say anything about their motivations, I don't want to lose, right? Anything. I gotta provide a house over my family's head, not because I love them, but because I'm afraid that, I'll be looked at less than whatever. The motivation is in fear. It's driven out of fear. I can't fail. I can't fail someone else. Strong motivator, but it's operating out of fear. You ask somebody, you know, their opinion of of the worldview, and they're like, I just don't see it getting any better. Dang, that's scarcity. That's scarcity. Okay. Scarcity mindset operates out of fear. Not that you're a bad person. Not that not that you're not active. Not that you're not getting a positive result, but you operate out of fear. Operates from a place of fear. Next thing, a focus on what we are lacking. You know how many conversations, well, almost all conversations I have comes from people, you can call it complaining, but they're just pointing out the negatives. Pointing out what we don't have, pointing out what's not there. Then it's pointing out what's most likely not going to happen. It's all in the nots. Pointing out what's most likely not going to happen. What you would like but you already done convinced yourself that it's just not going to happen, right? And this is why pessimistic mentalities consider themselves realists, because what you what you repeatedly believe, you tend to get. So if you believe and say all of the time what's not going to happen and it don't happen, you are fueling your belief. You are creating that scenario. So a scarcity mindset operates from a place of fear, focus on what they are lacking. Hmm? Feeling of limited resources available for your success. You don't know how many customers you can get if you was to start a business. You don't know how many people will show up to the event you want to start. You don't know how much money you can make. You don't know how much space, how much yardage you can have on a house. You don't know how many miles that car can go, you know, but you have a feeling of limited resources available for your success. And this one of the things, shout out Gary Vee. This is one of the things that he points out. He'd be like, "Well, how many people did you call?" Like, I saw him talking to a guy recently. He's like, "I got to do cold calling, basically how telemarketers work. You just calling specific people, but it's basically calling random people until somebody, or cold DMs. You DMing people about your stuff, whatever it is you have to offer. Like, how many you do a day?" He said 25, I believe. At least 25. And Gary Vee's like, "Are you serious? You betting your life's work on just 25 people a day? You need you to do like 1,000. Tell me that you don't believe there's 1,000 people you can talk to a day. The numbers sound crazy. There's billions of people in the world. Do you know how numbers work? You can't reach out to 1,000 a day. It sounds crazy, but it's true. It only sounds crazy to a scarcity mindset. Did it sound crazy to you? Right? Says feeling of limited resources available for your success and feelings of competition. A lot of times, this is why, oh man, this is why a lot of people separate from you. If you are one who is actively working towards your success, and you not being an a-hole and pushing people away, this is one of the reasons why people separate themselves from you. It's a scarcity mindset. They see you doing something about your life, taking your life into your hands, and they could cheer you on, but they don't believe that it's going to work for themselves. So they distance themselves, right? Because they start to feel like it's competition. It becomes a comparison. And outwardly, it seems like you're doing better than them. So I need that negativity out of my life. It's feelings of competition, a negative feeling of competition. Competition can drive a person, if it's healthy, it can boost each person that's competing. But a lot of times it's not even competition, you know? The next thing on the scarcity mindset, uh, does not take risk, resistant to change, chooses comfort over growth. Whew, whew. Because I've made those decisions before. I'm human. I make those decisions now. So that really hit. Does not take risk, resistant to change, chooses comfort over growth. I'm quite adaptable. now. I can see that now. I know how to adapt. Um, and I would push myself out of comfort for growth reasons. Now, you're not going to stay in discomfort. Like life is not supposed to be uncomfortable or life is not to be like super difficult, especially from your own pressure, right? But you can't do nothing and expect something. And you're not going to always feel like doing something, but the discipline has to be there in order for you to do regardless of feeling. So that means you're uncomfortable. You'd rather be chilling, right? You rather keep your day off, but you need more money. Probably need to work that day off, sweetheart. Hmm. That's the quickest way. If you can go where you already making money and put in more. Hey, does not take risk, resistant to change, chooses comfort over growth. Think about that. Believe that the other successes mean that there is less for you. Remember, I was telling you how people can compare, and I'm telling you, bro, I had a scarcity mindset, especially when it came to money. If somebody else was successful in business, then I'd be like, oh, can't do that business no more. Before I started my own, and be like, oh, you can't do that one. So and so already got everybody. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of starting a shoe company when there's Nike? What's the point of, starting lotion company when there's Nivea, when there's Jergens? What's the point? Scarcity mindset, this comparison. Other success means that there is less for you. And the scarcity mindset asks themselves, what's in it for me? Hmm, that's deep. What's in it for me? What's in it for me usually limits opportunity. What's in it for me usually limits opportunity. If somebody's coming to you with an opportunity, right? That means that I'm giving you a chance to do something that would benefit more than just you. Like, there's a good amount of good hearted people who want for you, just for you. But let's be real, the opportunity isn't just for you. You can play a part, but it's usually for something greater. And if you can't see the greater, then that means this opportunity might not fit for you. So that mentality, what's in it for me, limits opportunity because that shows that you're selfish, right? Now it's not that you're not gonna be looking out for yourself. It's not that, you know, you don't want to benefit from whatever somebody is presenting you or, but it's just telling you that you gotta have purpose in mind, and purpose is in servitude. So you're gonna be serving others. So when you focusing on, you outside of purpose is what's in it for me, then you're not focusing on the why. You're not focusing on the purpose at hand, whatever this opportunity is. You're not looking at the bigger picture. You're not looking at abundance. It's scarcity mindset. Okay. checking in. Anybody looking, viewing from Facebook or Instagram, come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and we can join and can comment. We can talk. Ah. Now, let's look at those lists again. See where you fit. An abundance mindset operates from a place of gratitude, rooted in positive thought, has the idea that there is more than enough resources to go around, view the world to have endless opportunities, is open minded, focuses on what you have and what you can control, views failures as learning opportunities, ask themselves, how can I help others? Hmm? A scarcity mindset operates from a place of fear, a focus on what we are lacking, feeling of limited resources available for your success, feelings of competition, does not take risk, resistant to change, chooses comfort over growth, belief that other successes means that there is less for you, and ask themselves what's in it for me. So which category do you fit in? Are you an abundance mindset or are you a scarcity mindset? The great thing is you can always build more abundance. Um, and I'm also say too, it's like a double entendre where you can have an abundance mindset in many areas, but a scarcity mindset in a few areas, right? Like I don't think anybody is like completely abundant, abundance mindset. And that's why we're always improving. It's okay. Find the areas, pinpoint the areas that you have a scarcity mindset in. I know I know someone who is like one of the greatest people I've ever met. People love him, people flock to him. Um, and his mindset is abundance when it comes to love, but when it comes to relationship, his mindset is scarcity. Like even though he loves openly, when it's like, hold on, you trying to get close to me? Now the guard is up. Now, projected, oh, I need you to have this. I need you to have all that together, come straight, come correct. And you're looking for the flaw. You have a scarcity mindset when it comes to relation. And it's funny, it's like, you abundant in love and human connection and doing for people, but one on one, it's a scarcity, right? How I went from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. Let's get into it. Let's get into the juice, right? I have experienced a lot, and a lot of my experiences, Doc Rob. No, sir, I was not. You see how that's actually a lot of us are like that, like we're loving people, we're forgiving people, but one on one, you mean to tell me you trying to get to know me? What is this? It's a play at hand. What are you doing? No, sir, I'm not talking about you. Oh man. How I went from scarcity to abundance mindset. Oh man. Like I said, I've had many of experiences, and a lot of what people would deem traumatic experiences back to back. Um, Three of the most important people in my life passed within like every year of each other, right? My grandmother passed in front of me. I attempted to save her life. It didn't work. Uh, my uncle, my uncle, um, who was pivotal, who helped my mom out a lot, who modeled a lot of my manhood around him. He was a male figure in my life. Um, he got shot. I didn't even get to spend much time with him as an adult. Not even as an adult. It wasn't even as an adult. I wasn't an adult yet. There you go. He got shot and killed, and I can't remember if it was before or after. I think it was before. It was before that. My stepfather had passed. They say it was sleep apnea, but I tried to save his life too, and it didn't work. And two of the three of those people passed right in front of me. So it was like, man, I don't think I should get close to people, right? Um, I had different messages about wording. Um, I was one who I explained, like, I'm openly loving and forgiving. I've had my heart broken enough to where I could wear my heart on my sleeve without worry, without fear, but I also didn't allow people too close to me, like I ain't trying to do relationship. I had that about me. Money, like I said, I never was one who went completely without. Like, yes, I've experienced the lights being cut off. Yes, I've experienced uh, the electric, the gas being cut off. Yes, I've experienced no cable uh, before internet was a thing. But when the internet became a thing, yes, I went without internet. No, I didn't have a cell phone until I could pay for it. Things like that. But I never went like without. I've went a few days in my life without a meal, sure, but I never was without. Like, my mom did her thing. She provided for her kids. If anything, she provided for her kids. But you can consider my domain impoverished, right? Um, and then my mentality towards money, she provided, but I seen her sitting at that table like, what am I gonna do? Praying. I don't know how I'm gonna provide, but I give it to God. I done witnessed this. I start, asking or paying attention to adults about credit, and all of them in my area around me was like, "Yo, don't even worry about it. Credit is bad. Don't even get credit." You know what I'm saying? Um, Stuff like that. Like, just stay away from it. So my relationship with money, I'm still working on improving. I've improved certain areas, like I'm confident in making money. But as far as money management, yeah, we working on that. I have a scarcity mindset. Now, how did I go from scarcity to abundance? Sometimes the right person can spark your mind. They trigger your thinking. They question your beliefs. Because if you have a scarcity mindset, that means you believe in these lacks, in the limitations. You believe, there's not enough. It won't happen to you. It won't come to you, right? You believe that you will not see success in whatever it is that you have this scarcity mindset attached to. Sometimes the right person can spark you questioning those beliefs. So I shout out to my wife. When I met her, I was still in high school, so give myself grace. But I was working. I was in high school. I was working. I was making my own money. I was helping out. I was doing a lot. I was in night school. I'm helping moms out. I'm helping other families out. My homeboys, I'm staying with them to finish school out because they live on another side of town now. Um, but I didn't have an abundance mindset. I was just one who I was always willing. I was always willing to do what was necessary for me and those involved. But I didn't have a abundance mindset. I didn't see like like I'm not gonna have these problems. I just focused on being able to handle these problems. But these problems are gonna be there. I didn't see me like making enough money to where money is not an issue. I didn't see that, right? Stuff like that. And it was '08. You know what I mean? At the time, my mom, and shout out to her too. Her heart is so huge, and I got that about me. That she's always been generous. She's always been willing to help the next person. And I had to learn later on in life, building my abundance, that you can help others without hurting yourself. Like people would willfully come to her for things that were dire to her, but not that dire to them. And I would see this, like, they don't even need that for real. My mama will give you her last dollar and they don't even need it for real. Like, long story short, my mom ended up taking in another family. This family winded up being the reason for her getting evicted. And it wasn't financial, it was, communal. It was they was messing up the community. We got to get rid of this. And business that is attached to this household, we got to get you out. So at that moment, we ended up being homeless. In between homes. So I was doing what I could to finish school, going through night school, working, and making sure that my family ate and had some type of roof, a hotel or whatever over their head, while moms was stacking enough to be able to have a down payment for a place, right? Plan in place, we doing things. Tough area, tough situation. I had a scarcity mindset when it came to, and mind you, like I said, I'm high school. I'm 17 at the time. So I was like, I want a girlfriend, but I can't entertain these girls around me. I'm not dealing with high school stuff. So I can't entertain high school, energy. Like I can't entertain a high school level mentality. I'm not dealing with high school stuff. I was like, yo, I need a woman. Real talk. And at the time, I thought woman meant age. So I started messing with older women to find out they had childish mentalities. Let's be real. Most people who are up in age that messes with younger ages, a lot of them have childish mentalities. Um, they want someone that they can control, or they still think like a teenager type thing. So I came across a lot of that. And I was like, I don't think it's no, the woman for me might not even exist. You know what I mean? And I did something that I encourage everybody to do is I wrote it down. If I truly believe that what does the woman for me look like? What does this person possess? What are the qualities they possess? Right? And it gets deeper than external, like, oh, she gotta be a baddie, she gotta have a big booty. Okay, now that you got that clear. Uh what is it? She's gonna be loyal. Loyal to what? That's on you. But she's gonna be loyal, right? She's gonna be intelligent. These types of things. I could have a conversation with her. I couldn't even have a conversation with most of these people I was trying to talk to. Like, it was so unattractive. I wasn't at a early age. I was not focused on sex. Like, that was not the driving factor. I'm going through something. I need someone that I could talk to. I need someone with some experience that the conversation can go further than surface level. I'm not a surface dweller, man. Um, and here comes this beautiful woman who didn't have time for me, who my people was like, yo, this might be right up your alley because she's so mean. They say I was mean. I can be. They say I was mean. She was mean. I think mean just meant, didn't take no BS and had some type of grounding about yourself. I think that's what that meant back in these times. But we both was considered mean. So they was like, yo, go talk to her. I talked to her and I saw her and I was like, challenge accepted, right? Like, you actually jogging my mind right now. And I was doubtful, scarcity mindset. I was doubtful that she would be able to hold a conversation with me. I met her at like 4 or 5 p.m. that day, and we didn't stop talking until like 7, 8 a.m. the next day. And that was only because she had to go to work. And I'm like, dang, right? I was like, okay, without even looking at the boxes, checking boxes, like, yo, this is obviously someone I could talk to, right? And from that day, I couldn't stop talking to her. What was it? What was it that drew me in? We just got to keep on talking. And then, from a scarcity to abundance mindset, the next time that I actually got to see her, she came over, and when she pulled up, it was in 2008. When she pulled up, she had a car I'd never seen. Her vehicle was a 2008. No, it was a 2006. My bad. But I ain't never seen this vehicle, this make, this model, this nothing. Never seen it. And I was like, okay, you just showed me something different. Like, that's bigger than words. You just showed me something different. Then, furthermore, getting to know each other, I'm hearing some of her experiences, and a lot of her experiences are outside of the of the city. Now, I've been to a few states, but most of it has been family related stuff, like family reunion in North Carolina. I got family up in DC and Baltimore and stuff like that. So I would go visit family out of state, but I never like vacationed or did anything out of state. And at this time, my my crew, my gang, my homies, we all started driving not too long. Remember, I'm 17 now. We all had recently started driving, and I became like the chauffeur. As long as somebody could give me gas, then I'll take them where they want to go. So a lot of my homies was working. I wasn't working at the time. Um, I was focusing on finishing school. So a lot of my homies was working, and they would be the ones like, here go $20, let's ride. You know what I mean? So I was like more so the chauffeur. Um, but they also had their own vehicles. Once they started driving, I kind of got left out, and I see that that was for good reasoning now. Um, but at the time, I'm like, why y'all leaving me out? I had put Cuzzo on with a woman. His girlfriend at the time lived on the Eastern Shore, which is like a peninsula over here. Um, and it was awesome to get there, but it was country as crap there, and I didn't want to stay there. I ain't had nothing to do, so he stopped taking me to the Eastern Shore. Well, we had to drive past the beach to get to the Eastern Shore, and I would always tell myself like, man, it'd be great to go to the beach, but I had never been. And I told my woman that I never been to the beach that was in driving distance. She was like, then let's just go to the beach. And I was like, it, it's really that simple. Mind you, this is how a scarcity mindset works. I have a vehicle, I have a license, I know where the location is, never been. I have what I need. You do not lack. I have what I need to do what I want to do. Could not wrap my mind around doing it. And she was like, when I told her, of course, I was upset. I'm like, yo, they have been, my homies, they have been to the beach several times, you know? But here I am, just sitting by waiting, like, I want to go to the beach. And she was like, well, let's go. For my 18th birthday, she took me to the beach. We stayed the night, and I never forgot it, and I never forget it. That type of experience unlocked. I was like, why haven't I, going back and acknowledging, I have the tools, I have the resources, I have the knowledge. Why haven't I done the thing? That made me put in perspective so many things. That one thing that put so much stuff in perspective, that I shifted from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset in so many areas. Not all of them, but so many. It unlocked in me the action part. I always had potential, as all of you do that's listening. I've always had potential, but I never really tapped into that potential fully. I never took initiative on my life. I was always being reactive, right? I was always being reactive to life, just dealing with the things that come, just handling the stuff that is happening, right? I would make enough money to pay whatever is needed for us not to go without. I would do enough to say I've done something. I was good at keeping. I was good at conflict resolution. Like I could solve these problems, but not enough to where I'm getting rid of the problem. You know, I could overcome something, but my scarcity mindset told me that if it happened before, it's going to happen again. I wouldn't plan too far ahead. I wouldn't allow myself to do anything or see capability in anything that I wanted, you know, just stuff like that, bro. Like she really like punched that in my mind. And I gotta thank my baby for that. That's why like I truly believe that at some point in my life, something would have triggered that. But it was for my life, it was her that triggered this type of thinking, that spark to go from scarcity to abundance, for me to acknowledge where I'm being scarcity in order to be able to work on improving that area into abundance. She's the one. I'm the mindset guy. A lot of people look at me as the mindset guy. Here I am talking about mindset, but I had a scarcity mindset until I came across her. It wasn't until I came across her that she pushed me. I'm telling you, like it was just like a like whoa. I was like, it can't be that simple. It is. It is. It's that simple. Now, it's that simple to switch from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. Everything ain't gonna be that simple to do, right? You may not have all of what you need to do exactly what you want at that moment, but you do have the capability to gain what it is that you need to do. And from there, from that, like, man, I always wanted to go to the beach. Like, what beach? The beach? Like the one that's like an hour away? Yeah. All right, let's go. From there, now I've been to multiple countries, right? And that all because it's been her. I wasn't thinking about going out the country. I wasn't thinking about taking a cruise nowhere, traveling. I was like, I wasn't even thinking about like concerts or nothing. I've always been in a survival mentality. And I think that's the gift and the curse of impoverished. Cause you won't survive. You gonna make it work. You know how to make things stretch. You know how to live without, right? There's not much complaining. You actually usually have more gratitude for the things that you do have versus complaining about what you don't. These are like the the benefits of poverty. But your mentality, your focus is on survival. Wasn't until I got with her that my focus became thriving. I want to do more than survive. I want to live. I want to live abundantly. I want to see what it feels like to have a lot of money. What's a lot of money? Oh, that number keeps changing. I want to feel what it feels like to give without worrying. My heart is there. I want to be able to do the things that I seen my mother do without having to face the repercussions that my mother has, right? I want to be able to put somebody else in position. I want to be a spark. I want to be a punch in your mindset that triggers you to go from scarcity to abundance. And thankfully, I have been to many. That's why I'm here because I've experienced it. I went from scarcity to abundance. And sometimes it just takes an outward person pointing out how you're thinking the same scenario, right? I've never been to the beach. The beach right there. There's no real reason why you haven't been. Same thing for your situation. A lot of times people have what they need for the result that they want, but they can't see it. And it's because of their mindset. You're focusing on the wrong thing. Like if you operating out of fear, that downward spiral just keeps on going. It's a continuous loop. What could go wrong? Never ending. What you want to go right? One thing. What can go wrong? Never ending. Never. And that's the difference between a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset. Like now I've gotten in the habit of challenging myself. If I see scarcity, then I need to see abundance in this area. So I would challenge it. Let's be real. I've been broke, never been poor, but I've been broke. And I, like I said, healing my relationship with money, I had a scarcity mindset around money. I believed that a salesman was a con artist. No rich person is a good person. They all evil. Like you think about that. I want to be rich, but all rich people are evil. I'm not evil, so I guess I'm not gonna be rich. Had to break that. Had to break that. Like, nah, man. What I consider rich, I'm gonna be more than I already am. I had to acknowledge abundance. If you're not a lot of people, if you're a lot of people focus or lump success with money. Um, if you can't see abundance outside of money, then you do not have an abundant mindset. There is abundance in many areas. So even those moments when I was broke, those times I was in the red, right? Even when I overdrafted at times, I still knew that I had abundance in other areas of life, being completely transparent, not encouraging that but I had to experience that in order to like, okay, I need abundance in this area too, and start switching my mind to an abundance mindset when it comes to money. Uh, but I've always thought in terms of abundance, like in love, in life, in humanity. As crazy as it is right now, I still think in terms of abundance. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to come to you today. If I didn't believe in the good, I wouldn't be able to come to you today. So, what do you believe in? What do you know? Because I know who's watching. What do you know? you know, man. And I can go all day. I can go all day. I think that's good enough. Shout out to my wife. Love my baby. Love you, baby. If you ever come watch this, she leaves. She leaves YouTube to me, and I appreciate that. Uh, but she was the right person for me that triggered my mindset from scarcity to abundance. Right? She challenged my thoughts. She challenged my mindset. She challenged my thinking. I want you to do the same thing. Pay attention to how you're talking, how you're thinking about everything. Starting whatever, like once you start acknowledging Like, oh, that was a fear-based thought. Hmm. Do you believe, like things will never get better? Nobody wants you. Couldn't even get that out. Like, do you believe in the lack? Ain't enough money to go around, ain't enough food, ain't enough toilet paper. Every time the weather get crazy, ain't nothing out here. Ain't nothing out here for me, man. Do you really believe that? Start challenging them thoughts. You know, this is why having conversations with taking on different perspectives. Start challenging some of these thoughts, even if, even if it confirms your belief. It still needed that challenge. There's some things that I didn't get grounded in. Come on, man. We always improving the mind. There's some things that I didn't get grounded in until it showed enough times and repetition. Um, and that's where a lot of mentalities are. That's where a lot of mindsets. It's how people develop the way they think, their experiences. It's like, I've experienced it enough. This is what I believe. But most of the times, I'm like a walking opposition to the thought or your experience. Like, if it happened to me, bro, it could happen to you. Like, if it happened to me, it could happen to you. It can happen to anyone. But you got to open your mind. You got to open your mind to it. Because otherwise, with a negative or a scarcity mindset, you won't see the opportunity. You won't see what's developing right in front of you. A lot of times people don't see who's there. So many people want love and always focuses on the wrong aspects of love. You're on the surface. Who looks nice? Who's flirtatious? You know, who's playful? That's all nice and stuff on the surface, but who's there? Who's thinking about you? Who's praying for you? Mm, that's different. Who's challenging your thought? Like, shout out to my wife, bro. So, I'll conclude. I'll go over these lists one more time. An abundance mindset operates from a place of gratitude, rooted in positive thought, has the idea that there is more than enough resources to go around, view the world to have endless opportunities, is open minded, focuses on what you have and what you can control, mm, views failures as learning opportunities, and asks themselves, how can I help others? A scarcity mindset operates from a place of fear, focus on what we are lacking, feeling of limited resources available for your success, and feelings of competition, mm, does not take risk, resistant to change, chooses comfort over growth. Scarcity mindset also belief that other successes means that there is less for them, and ask themselves, what's in it for me? What category do you land in for every area of life? Every area of life. Check these out. If you have a scarcity mindset in somewhere, don't worry, you can improve your mind. I am Trayvon Pratt. That's AIM, always improving the mind. Coming to you for Mindset Monday. Thank you, baby. You watched this. I love you. I appreciate you. You've helped me in more ways than you can ever acknowledge, and you continue to. And we're just going to enjoy life, okay? Much love to everybody who's watching and paying attention. Thank y'all for being here. And we're going to just keep on living abundantly. I'll see y'all. Peace.